Huh? I can't hear you. There's too much talking. Yes, we did. Sure can. If you didn't get a new packet, come on up. Come on down. All right, quadratic functions. What do I mean by quadratic function? I don't know. It's a squared term, right? The standard form for a quadratic function, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Hey, what kind of shape does our quadratic functions have? This isn't even funny, is it, Keaton? What's the U shape called? Thank you. Of course, I had a student say a couple years ago, and it's kind of stuck, parabola. Okay, opens up if what? Yes. You could put positive slope, positive A. Gentlemen, pay attention. If my A is positive, it opens up. Positive A, positive slope, because A is slope. Opens down if, yeah. Wide if, in other words, just like we were working with absolute value functions. Gentlemen, I'm going to throw a brick at you guys. Just like when we were working with our absolute value functions, they get wider or stretched. We're going to do examples of it. Okay, wide if A is a fraction between 0 and 1. And the way we write that in mathematics is if A is greater than 0 or less than 1. That means it's a fraction between 0 and 1. Thin if A is greater than 1. And actually, it's the absolute value of A. Because if it's negative 3, it does make it thinner, just makes it thinner going the other way. So the absolute value of A. Okay, the vertex, or the axis of symmetry, the vertex, when we are in standard form, the x value is going to equal negative b over 2a. You guys have all seen this before. Negative b all over twice the coefficient of the x squared term. How do you find the y-coordinate if I have the x-coordinate of our vertex? Plug it back in. Okay. Now, when you were learning this back in Algebra 1, hopefully your Algebra 1 teacher would make you guys write down what your A is, what your B is, and what your C is, because you probably did 100 problems using the quadratic formula. So my axis of symmetry, well, my x value is going to be, let's see, negative b, my b is negative 4, divided by 2 times my a, which is 2. So I have negative 4 over negative 4, which is 1. So that's my axis of symmetry, by the way, x equals 1. I put the negative with that. Okay, by the way, your axis of symmetry is always your x value of the vertex. Okay? So I know that my x value is 1. So I'm going to put that as my middle point because I need at least 3 points to draw a parabola. So my axis of symmetry here is x equal 1. That's my axis of symmetry. Okay, I got to find my y value for my vertex, correct? 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 Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are listening. So, my y value is going to equal 2 times my x value squared minus 4 times my x, which is 1, plus 3, which equals 2 times 1 squared is 1, so 2 times 1 is 2, minus 4 plus 3. So my y value is going to be what? 1. So there's my vertex, 1, comma 1. Now, I highly suggest, well, you're going to need one less and one more to get 3 points for your parabola. I highly suggest using your calculator. Okay, let's see, y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. Graph it. I don't even care if it's on my graph or not. I just want my table of values. Let's say my vertex is 1, 1. Okay. Oops, kind of hard to see. How about like that? I don't care. Okay, so 1, 1, 1 less, 0, 3. This is review. Yeah, but I'm old. I'm 85 years old. You're 15. What? Where? Y equals 2. Do I have a y equals 2? There? Oh, I just took my 1. Substituted into my... Yeah. There's a 2 there. Oh, 1 squared is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, you caught up? Jeez, are you guys slow? Keaton's going to fall asleep. These guys are going to play video games. You guys are so slow. Are you ready? No. By the way, speaking of the vertex, look at your table of numbers. Shh. Maybe if you guys would concentrate, it wouldn't take you so long. Look at your table of values. Notice my vertex is 1, 1, right? Notice my y's start to repeat here. See how I get a 3 there, and a 3 there, a 9 there, and a 9 there? I could actually pick out my vertex right from my calculator. Isn't that great? Yep. So let's graph those. 1, 1, 2, 3, 0, 3. By the way, I'm using my slope for this too. Once I find the vertex, I could use my slope too. Up 2 over 1. Just like our absolute values. Except this is a U. It's a U. Get with the program.
Sorry, I blew up. My bad.
Okay, just looking at number 2. My A is a -1/2, isn't it? What do you think is going to happen with my parabola, Caleb? No, you got to have to use halves. Okay. All right. We have to find our axis of symmetry, so my x value is going to be -b. So my b is 1. Here, let's write our a. Our b is 1, and my c is 4. So my x is -b over 2 times a, so 2 times -1/2. Yep. Okay, I have to find my y value. So my y is going to equal -1/2 times 1 squared plus 1 plus 4. Yeah. -1 over 2 times -1/2 is -1. -1 divided by -1 is +1. Yes. Because that's my formula. It's -b over 2a. Okay. All right. So my y is, let's see, this is -1/2 plus 1 is 1/2 plus 4 is 4.5. What? Huh? Not today. Usually every day except Fridays. But not today. You know, again, you could just plug this in your calculators. Okay? 1/2 x. I always put fractions in parentheses. Plus, it doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Plus 4. If I graph it, it should go upside down. I could go to my chart, see when my x is 1. There's my y value, 4.5, so I really don't have to compute what my y is. 9/2 or 4.5. So that's my vertex. 1, 4.5. I'm going to grab some other numbers here. I'm going to use 0, 4 and 2, 4. You goofed it up. Did it wrong. You guys did it wrong. Your vertex is 1, 4.5 because your y values are the same after that point. Okay? And even if you figure it out here, it still comes out to 4.5. That's my vertex. Okay? So somewhere you punched it in wrong, or did you use parentheses? Did you make sure you use x squared and an x and a plus 4 and a negative sign out front? Everything's the same. And your calculator's broke. One and 4.5. No, well, 9/2. 9/2 is the same as 4.5. Axis of symmetry is always your x value. What, my x value? I didn't hear you. My x value, I use this formula. X equals negative b over 2a. That's my axis of symmetry. My x value of the vertex. ¿Comprendes? ¿Comprendes? Who did you have for Algebra 1? Wait a minute, let me... So -1, -2, -2, 1, and 0, 1. What's that? When's Halloween? Boy, about another 330 days. All right, I think that's it for today.